So this will have been one of the most brutal introductions ever, basically, because we started without saying hello and anything along those lines. But hello all, how are you doing? If you were here yesterday night, you're gonna know what's happening today. Basically, we had a best of 3, and the third game has been postponed till basically right now. So Alvin's squad playing off against Kool-Aid Brigade, and we have yet to crown a champion. Unlike yesterday, I will not be alone, so I'm here tonight with Major. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? You might know me from co-casting with Ans in French. I co-casted with him maybe like once in English, and it was like for what 3-4 hours when we were doing the finals for the Europeans.
Yeah, for the
The
previous
DAL.
season. Yeah, the
Yeah.
playoffs.
So yeah, that's pretty much the only time I co-cast in English. So it's gonna be a very fun time tonight here, co-casting in English for 3 hours. So hey, welcome aboard.
Yeah, so we're gonna have 3 games lined up for you guys tonight. The first one, which you're gonna be seeing right here, is not from the Titans League like the overlay is stating, but it is gonna be from the Cerberus tournament. So our tournament series, by the way, the last one before we announced basically the full thing being revamped. Then we're gonna have the 2 last games of the week regarding the Titans League. We're gonna be seeing, correct me if I'm wrong here, Mishmash Gaming play off against Phoenix Rebirth.
Well,
And
I
Echo.
well, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but you're probably right on that one.
Yeah, and Clash gonna be the latest ban. I just wanted to add this to the overlay. Yes, so because you managed the tweets, so you will probably know it better than I will because you've been like typing the teams' names a few times today. So yeah, like I said,
what was your question? I'm sorry.
Phoenix Rebirth against Mishmash Gaming, but the second game was
Oh yeah. It's Unique Esports,
Esports against the astronauts. Yes,
yeah.
yes. As soon as you say it, it comes back to my mind. However, so a game would usually take about 1 hour, right? So this starts around 7 p.m. The next one should start around 8 p.m. like we announced. Unfortunately, the players have postponed the match from 8 to 8:30, and then we've asked the 9 p.m. game to be postponed as well, so, just to make sure the scheduling fits and everything. And it is going to make it so that we're going to have basically a bit of a downtime between the end of this game, except if it goes like in crazy overtime and that kind of stuff. We're going to have a downtime between the end of this game and the beginning of the next one. This was the only thing I wanted to point out or really add to the conversation before we actually start in the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how this game goes. But it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, you guys are going to be able to talk about this game, maybe do your thing, how can I say this? Your thoughts about the other games that are going to be played, like the Phoenix Esports. The Phoenix Reapers, sorry, and the Mishmash.
So you're talking about predictions here. Who do you expect to see winning these games and that kind of stuff?
I mean, we saw Mishmash a lot of times just absolutely destroying the other teams, but Phoenix Rebirth, whom I've actually played against, is very, very, how can I say this? Challenging. Yeah, challenging. They're very, very hard to manage. If I can say this, they go a lot. They have a lot of different strats in each side, so they can be very unpredictable. And yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how does the Mishmash, a pretty much Diamond League, is going to do against the Phoenix Rebirth. As we say this, Fentix, who is going to get the first kill. No, sorry, the iGame
The second
Pro.
one. It was a refrag, basically.
Yeah, so iGame Pro who is gonna have who's gonna get actually the first kill on Trip, and it's gonna be a refrag here for Fentix.
Oh, and the Nitro Cell through the floor. That was pretty well done. So The interesting thing here is Will was able to evade his opponents, right? I mean, the attackers were all around him, and yet he managed to get a kill. He runs down the stairs and tosses an extra shot at the ceiling. But his position is now absolutely known. Fentix with the concussion grenade, which will explode mid-air. It will be a use, you know, as a proximity alert thingy. So Will has no choice but to run away, and he is doing a good job at it. The thing is, he has to remain alive first and foremost, right? He's rushing into firefights. He cannot hope to win in a face-to-face fashion. So as soon as he lost the advantage of surprise, he had to disappear, and he's basically playing time. Alvin's squad, they still know that there's a roamer somewhere. They still know that they cannot just focus 100% of their energy on the bomb site itself. They are going to have to take a look, you know, at their backs, because if not, that Will is going to come back. Unfortunately, the grenade... Oh, the grenade was aimed at destroying a bandit battery, if it was to be there. And that was all three. Oh, no, only two Hibanos X-Kairoses. But still, great loss of utility for the defenders, for the attackers here.
I mean, unfortunately for the attackers who are going to miss all of the 3 Kairos, that unfortunately the Hibana put out, the bandit is going to actually bandit trick all of the 3 Kairos, while, if I'm not mistaken, CG, who's gonna get the
4
quad
kills.
Kill.
Yeah, 4 kills.
Yeah.
He can
Still
get
alive.
the ace. He can get the ace.
Yeah.
100 health. He's been playing it flawless. Like I said, he disappears when he has to, and he comes back right at the worst time ever for Alvin's squad. Maze does have the diffuser. Oh, and there's a Miraz right there. But you have to plant. He is gonna do so, but it is over before he even gets killed, right? Alvin saying, good round, Motzi. It was 100% deserved. That GR right here was huge. That round was insane from Motzi.
Yeah, I mean, the first beautiful C4 who is actually not gonna be his first kill. It's gonna be on Alvine, if I'm not mistaken, and then Fentix, who's gonna get blown up by the C4. So I mean, it's unfortunate for the attack team, but here CG, who's very promising early on in this game, and who's gonna be a menace here to the blue team.
Indeed he will, but to some extent, I feel like he has tipped his hand. You could 100% expect, you know, harder anti-roaming practices coming off the attackers for the upcoming rounds, just to make sure that this kind of situation does not repeat itself, because we've seen Will single-handedly win the round for his team, right? And that's the kind of stuff that you don't want to see repeating too often. So the advantage of surprise was kind of vital in the role he was playing, and therefore, like I said, advantage of surprise. But once the surprise is passed, you could expect Alvin's squad to deploy, you know, coordinated countermeasures to make sure that that kind of stuff doesn't happen again. We've seen a few pings on that reinforced wall right here, as if, oh, you shouldn't have reinforced that. We wanted to create a rotation hole there, because that hole right here is pretty dangerous, because it could be seen from that window. You know, you rappel up and you can have a nice line of sight on the bomb site from the rotation hole here. So I'm not sure if this was voluntary or not. One thing's for sure, that black window, or black mirror rather, is going to be used for JTAR to know where to bandit tricks rather than to be used to get the kills. So I'm not sure if this is the best use of the utility ever, but this is going to be an unorthodox use of those black mirrors.
Yeah, I mean, that rotation into the astronomy site is going to be pretty much a deal breaker at this point, because if the attackers get the control of, for example, bathroom or the window near astronomy, or even astronomy itself, it's a deal breaker. They can just look at the entrance of statue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So that's just, it's, if they bandit
They seem to expect... Oh, and that's going to be first blood for Fantix, who is now already on bomb site. This is huge. I mean, if he had diffuser, he could already be planting here. Of course, oh, and Will is going to be biting the dust extremely early on. Like, the best hope of the team as a whole is going to be put down pretty quickly. iGame could come back, but he will have to destroy the barricades. He could get a quad right here. Unfortunately, nothing is going to... a very little amount of damage is going to be dealt here. And the barricade is really going to be his greatest enemy in that instance. Diffuser is now officially being planted. planted, IL, or once again, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. He's gonna get a first kill, but thing is, once again, diffuser planted, and even though you have not lost the control of both bomb sites, you are still gonna be finding yourself in a retake situation as if every single defender remaining alive was a roamer. And that round, like I said, as soon as you get rid of Will, is going to be, you know, it's basically a blowout. There was nothing the defenders could have done as soon as Alvin's squad was on bomb site. They should not have lost it in the first place, but control of statues was basically left for Bandit alone to defend. And that was just asking too much of a single defender when all 5 of the attackers are coming up against you at once. So to some extent, you could say the roamers, aka Will, failed to position themselves between the attackers on the bomb site, right? If he was able to get 1 or 2 kills, or even just to play time, to give enough time for the remaining defenders to rotate and to position themselves appropriately, that could have changed the outcome of the round. But as it stands, Alvin's squad were able to catch Kool-Aid Brigade off guard.
Yeah, I mean that. I just realized basically that I've called Will CJ CG actually the entire time. So my apologies, Will. So yeah, I mean it's pretty much here Bandit who had the site to himself pretty much, and we saw maybe iGame Pro on astronomy slash your trophy.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do anything. I mean, last we saw him, he was in bedroom trying to get maybe a quad kill here on the thermite and on the Alvine here, the gridlock. So I mean, there's nothing he could have done. I'm talking about Bandit here. There's nothing he could have done. He was like under pressure, under like five attackers. So I mean, it's unfortunate, but we need to not improvise, but adapt, and for the Alvine squad here, bring in the element of surprise that they did so well in the last round. So I mean, good round to Alvin. Maybe Kool-Aid, you gotta adapt.
So the amazing thing is, IL is going to be bringing Maestro. So of course your plan denial capabilities were really limited last round, and it kind of showed, right? Alvin get a single kill, they get a diffuser planted, and the round is over. So I would have expected Maestro to put his evil eyes a bit closer on the objective than he did. You were talking, so I couldn't mention it as he was planting, but the evil eye right here is not going to deny a plant. It's just going to be gathering intel. So it looks like Kool-Aid Brigade are going to be hinging their bets on what worked well 2 rounds ago, i.e. the roamers. So you're going to have JTard and Will both roaming pretty hard. That's going to be a first kill for JTard, who is going to have to rotate out of harm's way. He's going to be doing so. Will he be recovered or received on the other side by an attacker who's waiting for him? Answer is no, but Fantix will be rushing in. And Will is also going to be here, but he would be having some intel thanks to the Evil Eye, which is going to allow him to get another kill. This is already a 3v4 situation, a 2v4 situation rather. Now it's going to come back up to a 2v3, so still disadvantaged for the attackers, but already way less intimidating than it was. Alvine is down to roughly 1/3 of his health, and they seem to not know that there are no roamers on the defense. Like, locking down the stairs is basically worthless considering the current positionings of the defenders. So this kind of speaks of a certain lack of intel currently for the attackers.
I mean, yeah, totally. While there's no possible roamers here, throwing that the spikes from Alvine,
the track stingers.
Yes, the track stingers was pretty much a lost cause, because you could have used them maybe for doing another oh, Alvine here almost got shot, and there we go. He's gonna be taken down, put him in a down position. Maze here in a 1v3 situation with only 40 seconds left on the clock. He's gonna be able to take up Alvine, him going to get shot here. Alvine with what, maximum 4 HP, 3
One
HP.
bullet is gonna kill him, that's for sure.
Just even touching maybe a bandit battery will just down him and kill him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Alvine here, which he has pretty much no chances of winning, unfortunately for the Alvine squad. But yeah, it was a very interesting round. I mean, they brought it back from 2v4 to 2v3,
yeah.
but unfortunately here the IQ, who was brutally murdered when she entered the site, leaving Alvine with his 4 HP maximum, um, alone in a 1v3 situation with only like around 20 seconds left.
So, the thing I want to point out is Kool-Aid Brigade, they bet on the right horse here. They realized round number 1, right, Will did a lot of work. He got the quad kill on his own with a lone roamer mentality or play style. But they realized that they had to play the roaming game pretty heavily to win out the round, and that's exactly what they did. You had JTard and Will gaining 3 kills in total, leaving them with a 2v3 situation. But by that point, Kool-Aid Brigade knew where the pressure was going to be coming from. They were no longer surprised, and they were actually standing ready to receive the pressure. And this is exactly what happens when you know and where the attack is going to be coming from, and when you're just holding your angles. As a defense, this was, I don't want to say textbook, because it was not as perfect as the first time around when Will got the 4 kills, but it was still pretty close to what you're supposed to be doing in an ideal scenario.
Totally. I mean, they know that Alvine squad is really fast on site. They don't waste time, and that's pretty much the most important thing in Siege, not wasting time. And they know that if they roam pretty heavily, like 2 to 3 roamers, they will do some kills, and they will also succeed in throwing them off and wasting some time. So, I mean, they know the battle, and they know what to do to win it. So congrats to Kool-Aid Brigade, who's gonna be winning the 3rd round here and putting themselves in a 2-1 against
Scoreline.
the Alvine squad. Yeah, scoreline against the Alvine squad.
So we're going to be seeing basically the same recipe as last time. Once again, betting heavily on the roamers. You're going to have Will over here, who seems to be contesting even the simple entrance, or, you know, just jumping over that window. Could be a death sentence for a trap. Fantix also is going to be receiving some pressure. That was from iGame Pro. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe JTard is not sitting on OBJ either. He must come back on site. So in practice, we're going to be seeing 2 roamers only. And oh, this is going to be already looking bad. He was almost rotating at a wrong time here. Fortunately for him, he has not been peaked, but still, you can see that this time, Alvine squad, they're ready for the roamers, and they know exactly what to be expecting. Game Pro is going to be, unfortunately, caught off guard, and he's going to be cut down as a result of that, leaving us with Will, last player, to basically hold off the pressure before the attackers have a free way up to the bomb site itself. For the time being, he's going to be in a blind spot, but he apparently has been spotted out, and that's the thing. Once advantage of suppress has been lost, Alvin squad, they know how to flush those defenders out. We're going to be seeing a 4v3 situation for the bomb site itself, with roughly half of the round remaining. This is looking really good for Alvin squad. I don't want to say as good as it gets, because once again, they were able to rush in pretty quickly at round number 2, but still, things are looking extremely well for them.
I mean, here JTard, who was about to go and ban trick again the Kairos, unfortunately didn't get the chance because of the concussion lifeline that Fantix here would put out, I mean, for the bandit. So unfortunately, they will for the Kool-Aid Brigade, they will open the vault, and that's gonna leave another entry point here for the Alvine squad. Here, Legion, who's gonna get killed by the mirror window, I'd like to say.
Yeah, so that was from Study.
Okay, from Study. JTard, who's gonna have a double here on Fentix and on the Hebana, but here's CJ in a 1v2 situation. 35 seconds left to the diffuser. Can barely see the top of the head of Maze, if I'm not mistaken, while Alvin, him still on the the diffuser.
Oh no, he's gonna potato there. The Vector at that range has such a crazy rate of fire. It was supposed to get the kill, but unfortunately this is not gonna happen. The rotation from Maze could have been huge, and it ended up being. Apparently Mira was expecting it, so it was not because of the brain or because of the advantage of surprise that it was huge, simply because, well, your last defender ended up potatoing on that. This is unfortunate. That round could have been won by the defense, but it would have meant that they did get a comeback down. So ultimately, it's not too surprising. and yet the scoreline is still 2-2, right? So nothing is too dramatic, or both teams are still entirely capable of taking the map.
Yeah, I mean, totally. If we look at the round history here, it's basically, if I can make a prediction, it's gonna be 3-3.
Oh, probably for the role swap, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see like how the Albite squad is gonna need to push in many different ways to actually get the round wins. Because here we see Goulet Brigade actually like losing their aviation site, and
Yep.
they never like lost it before, like in the rounds that we saw. So that's unfortunate. They'll have to go kitchen to throw maybe the Alvine squad off. Sorry.
Off, and that's exactly what they're doing, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's working in a way that maybe they don't. How could I say this?
The
Yeah,
attackers
they
won't
don't
be expecting that bomb site, and therefore their composition is going to be ill-equipped to attack that bomb site.
Exactly. I mean, they have the possibility to go aviation and trophy, eh, and the trophy site. So why not go there? They're gonna go in kitchen. So I mean, it's gonna throw them off completely. I would be thrown off, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna see the next round here in the 2 minutes 40 left on the clock.
Yeah, so when you said they're probably going to be thrown off guard or surprised, or yeah. Thing is, the best example of that is simply the fact that verticality for this bomb site would be pretty important, right? You want to be able to destroy the floor and thus have a line of sight on the bomb site from above. And you would want to play verticality with either typically a buck or a sledge. Oh, and that's going to be JTAR just murdering Trap. But yeah, so you want to have that verticality play, but you're not going to be bringing any sledge or buck to the table. So really, your only chances of playing verticality is going to be through the shotgun, either with Alvin or Maz. So still, they're not too ill-equipped, but not exactly well prepared for the task that they're going to have before them. Will is apparently ready to receive some pressure. Alvin shooting a bullet, but that was just a distraction. And Will is not going to be biting. Right here, he is going to be staying quite calm, gets a first kill. Node's rotation is going to be very dangerous because of that opening once you turn it against his opponents. Alvine getting a first kill, but now he's going to know where it is. It is just not enough. Alvine getting a double kill. That is huge. And yet, you have barely even begun to attack the building itself. Now it's time to turn your attention to the bomb site with a 2v3 situation. Things are not looking too good, but you still have over a minute 20 remaining on the clock. So if you want to take your time to drone it out to make sure to know where your defenders are and what the best plan of attack would be, you still have time to figure all those things out. However, I want to say hesitating is not really going to be an option.
I mean, here JTAR, the bandit, who pretty much like, I don't want to say save the round, but maybe the double kill was helpful.
Oh yeah.
Here on Fentix and Trip, if I'm not mistaken. So that was pretty much a how can I say this, like round saver.
Probably, yeah.
It was a very nice double kill who eliminated a pretty much hard breacher and a fragger. So that JTAR, who did a very nice round and a very nice job here, eliminating two of the five attackers, and now it's gonna be left to Maze and Alvine to actually try to win the round.
Over there. Oh, he barely misses. And that's going to be a headshot. Nicely done, Alvin rushing in. He will be inflicting some damage, but receiving a lot more in return, leaving us with Maze, last player alive in a 1v2 situation. He never realized that Jaeger was on his right side, leaving us with Kool-Aid Brigade winning round number 5. Honestly, I would not have expected it, because like you said, they went down there to throw the attackers off guard. It worked, but ultimately, they still ended up picking a technically pretty weak bomb site. And by doing so, I thought, you know, they were shooting themselves in the foot, even though their hopes was to weaken their opponents even more than they were hurting themselves. But at the back of my mind, I still thought the trade-off wasn't worthwhile. Apparently, it was the right call to make, and as such, you are going to be seeing Kool-Aid Brigade trailing ahead once again, though it could be argued that they're up a point simply because we played an uneven amount of rounds, and that Alvine squad will probably and pretty likely win the next round. But next round, we're going to be seeing, you know, Trophy Statues defense. This is once again going to be one of the better bomb sites to defend. And therefore, I couldn't guarantee that the blue team is absolutely 100% guaranteed going to win the next round. So the 3-3 situation for the role swap could occur, but I feel like the 4-2 scoreline is just as likely.
I mean, yeah, the Alvine squad who basically, I mean, did a nice comeback. If we can say so. I mean, they put themselves in a 2v2 situation, so it was a pretty nice like half comeback. Uh, but here Kool-Aid Brigade, who just won the firefights, and unfortunately here for Woodslayer, who we saw getting absolutely demolished by Maze. But yeah, apart from that, it was they won their firefights, and they threw off the Alvine squad. So congrats to them. If your thoughts here are the best team wins, Kool-Aid here is on the right track.
Oh, they are. And to be honest, it's quite surprising because I don't know exactly how Alvine were, I want to say, seeing them or how well they were thinking them to be. But this is a best of 3, right? The very first game has been won by Alvine squad by a landslide. Remember, yesterday you weren't there, so you cannot remember that, but they won 7-3. It was an absolute landslide. The second game, they have lost, but in overtime. It went like really far. It was a 15-round game, so considering that there's no unlimited overtime, the game couldn't have been any longer than it was. So Alvine, I believe initially they thought Kool-Aid Brigade to be quite weak or easy opponents to take out. But it just so happens that they may have needed a bit of time to either warm up or to figure out how Kool-Aid Brigade plays, or rather, Kool-Aid needed a bit of time to figure out how Alvine plays to figure out how to counteract them. But then it just worked perfectly. Ash here is just going to get murdered. Advantage of surprise is going to be lost, but the drone was there. He saw everything, or it saw everything. It is still going to be a 4v4 situation, and will ultimately, I don't see anybody pushing him. Like, right, bottom right corner, Stab is looking at him. But as long as you don't push, CJ Will is not going to do anything stupid. He knows time is on his side. So he knows he could just run away here. He knows everything is looking good as far as he can just waste as much time as possible. And he's doing just that. Once again, he's being fairly passive. He knows where the attackers are. He could just turn around and push the aviation room. But he also knows he shouldn't be doing that. Heavy pre-fires will occur and he will ultimately fall. But still, there's only 1 minute remaining on the clock. So even though Kool-Aid Brigade are at a numerical disadvantage now, the tactical situation, once again, because of that time pressure, I would say is still pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, in this time around, Game Pro CJ, Mr. Barcode over here and Wookslayer still are
I'm just calling him IL.
Yeah, I was about to call him microwave, so I mean, from the microwaves, you know, bad joke.
Yeah.
But
no, I see what you mean.
But yeah, I mean, they're still very much in the round. I mean, they took some damage here. Maze, who was gonna kill, unfortunately, Barcode, but and he's gonna get the double kill on Woodslayer, and here Alvine getting the last kill on iGame Pro here in bedroom. But they were very much in the game, trying to hold off the side, and here it's gonna be a 3-3 situation while the side switch. So
the role swap.
Yes, the role swap. So is it going to continue like that? Or is it that the Alvine squad, who is now in defense, is going to pull out the strat and just maybe in a parallel world demolish here the I have a blank here, the
Kool-Aid Brigade.
Yes, the Kool-Aid Brigade. So are they?
To be honest, I believe your question was rhetorical, but I'm still going to respond to that. You know, simply to have a conversation and such. To be honest, the role swap could be the single factor that is going to affect the outcome of the game because, and I shit you not, if you have kept a log of the game in your caster's notebook, you're going to be seeing this as well. We have won a round for the orange team, a round for the blue team. So it was a back and forth, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. And therefore, anything that can break the back and forth or just even the slightest advantage either team is capable of getting on their opponents might just be enough to basically win the game as a whole, because these teams are extremely tied. The slightest advantage they can get might be a game changer, quite literally. So, talking about game changers, to bring it back to the role swap, if Alvine's squad was to be even the tiniest better at defending than they are at attacking, well, that could be your deciding factor, or the other way around. If Playday Brigade were to be better attackers than they were defenders, that could also impact everything. I do want to point out that we're going to be seeing a Kali. So the idea seems to be the utility, say, or the counter utility. Of course, Bandit cannot really bandit tricks in those conditions. So, though, if you look at his kit, he still has his 4 batteries in his back pocket. For some reason, he didn't put them down at all. So, Wugslayer, as long as they can just secure the office here, the study. There you go. As long as they can clear out the study, Thermite should have minimal difficulties to opening up the reinforced walls. And the defense. Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, the left side wall of study, or the right side wall, yeah, it's in reinforced. So they could just straight up put maybe a Zofia here. The iGame Pro Zofia could just pretty much yeet a lifeline and have a free opening without wasting maybe a Thermite or a Kali gadget.
How was that gadget even called? I couldn't remember.
I have no clue, honestly.
Wow, we aren't the biggest Kali players ever, are we? However, JTard is already pushing in, so he's looking at Classical Hallway, aka 90 Hallway, and Will was also able to get a kill, but he got a frag on Fantix, who was your roamer. Is Stab roaming? Stab is roaming as well, so he is going to be, your backup roamer, your backup fragger. But other than that, he seems to be playing pretty passively. So for the time being, since he's not immediately, contributing to his team, it is going to be a 4v5 situation, or 3v5 situation for bomb site rather. So JTard here is pushing in slowly but surely, and he's going to get a kill on Maze. This is going to be huge. Now you only have 2 defenders remaining on bomb site. Stab has to come back pretty quickly. Alvine is basically going to be overwhelmed, right? There's only so much he can do to fend off the pressure. He could be concussed just about any time by one of iGames' concussion grenades, and then he would be very vulnerable to a hypothetical push, which is going to happen right about now. And exactly like I said, picking a Kali when you're basically blind, not the best idea ever. Trap gets a huge kill, but still, Stab has to come back pretty quickly. He is going to be holding the angle, barely not peeking. But one thing's for sure, he can deny the plant of the diffuser if it was to happen on the aviation bomb site. That's going to be a double kill for Trap on his left. Somebody right here is going to die. Is it going to be a double? It is going to be a double kill. Switching the tables on the attackers. Will now last player alive in a 1v2 situation. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. He does not seem to know exactly where his opponents are. He has low health, and he doesn't have the diffuser. Things couldn't be more dire for him.
15 seconds left.
I mean, yeah, as Michael Scott here says, how the turntables. Here's Will, who the people who are gonna know the reference, they're gonna know it. Here, Will, who's gonna kill, unfortunately, Stab.
He has to rush in. Oh, if he aimed a bit lower, he could have got it.
We never somebody actually lying down here. They always go crouch, but wow, here, unfortunately for the Alvine squad, no, for the
so Alvine squad's gonna win the round. So Kool-Aid Brigade unfortunately lost here.
Yes, exactly. Kool-Aid Brigade unfortunately losing that. They had so much advantage in the early rounds. They got the Bandit, they got the Dog, and if I'm not mistaken, the Fentix, who was the Vigil. And yeah, they got basically a situation of 4v2 or 5v2, and the Alvine, not the Alvine squad again, but the Kool-Aid Brigade, who actually came back from that and actually won the round. Very good job here to the Alvine. Unfortunately for the Kool-Aid, who pretty much had the advantage all the time in the round. Unfortunately going to lose this one, but yeah, I mean, Alvine, who just literally broke the 1-1 win ratio. So Alvine, are you guys going to come back from this? Are you guys going to maybe do some 2-to-1 ratios? Maybe, we don't know that.
Maybe.
That's what we're gonna see here in the 3 minutes the
So
next 3
it
minutes.
is pretty massive. I know you just talked about that, but I do want to put a heavy emphasis on this. We have seen it back and forth. One round one by the blue team, one round one by the orange team. Wow, that's a tongue twister. We've seen this back and forth since the very beginning of the game. Alvine squad were able to break that stalemate by winning 2 rounds in a row. And if Kool-Aid Brigade are not able to come back from that, well, the game could already be won for in Alvine squad's favor. Though, like we also talked about previously earlier on, the rule swap can switch things up because you don't know who exactly is the better attacker compared to the defense, and you know that can mix things up. So let's see if this was just a one-off thing, but for the time being, Maze seems to have been spotted. Oh, that would have been a crazy good therm or pulses station there in the staircase. He could have seen a few different silhouettes. He's just going to be out of range. He's one. He's going to be feeding intel to his team. But I don't see any defenders ready to rush up or to capitalize on that information. Maybe Fantix is going to try it, but he would be pretty aggressive to rush in, you know, in a 4v1 situation. So he seems like he's going to be waiting to pick them off one by one. Fortunately, he's been spotted, so his advantage of surprise has been lost. And he's going to have to try to figure something new out.
I mean, in this case, unfortunately for Fentix, he's gonna be droned out. He's gonna have to retreat and go back. The mute jammers here who are going to be shot by the IQ, a very good spot here for an IQ. 1 minute 30 to go in the round, so they have plenty of time to go and put maybe the thermite exothermic charge, or here the Kairos pellets.
X-Kairos, yeah.
X-Kairos, yes. So 1 minute 15 here, wasting 15 seconds just to go on the bedroom roof. But it's still a very good time here to have to push. I mean, it's gonna be, let's say, a 20-second push.
Absolutely.
Well, it's gonna be very hard here for the Kool-Aid Brigade, who still have a lot of time to actually do a hard push. Still 5 people, 10 people here
Players,
in
yeah.
the crowd. Yeah, players still alive. The
drone didn't see him. The drone has not spotted him. That could be huge. I wanted to talk about the defender's positioning because you have a lot of roamers, and by definition, not many players are going to be on bomb site themselves. And as such, since the attackers are basically ready to funnel in, you could see an advantage position for the attackers, and you know, Kool-Aid Brigade could possibly just take control of OBJ and force Alvin squad into a retake position. But for the time being, since Trap has not been spotted out, that is going to be huge. He's going to get a first kill here. Stab gets another one in the meantime. Hibana right here, 15 seconds remaining on the clock. She has to rush in, waiting for the pellet. Could already be a death sentence. JTAR getting a kill on his end. At the top of the staircase, you saw somebody right here. Did you just forget the Trap was there? Okay, that's going to warrant her death. They do have the OBJ, but they did not have the diffuser. Alvin squad is therefore going to win round number 8. And yes, they do seem to be better defenders than they are at attacking. Therefore, Alvin squad are now going to be trailing ahead by 2 points. If simply having a point advantage was huge, like we mentioned earlier, the 2-point advantage, considering how close these teams are, is going to be extremely difficult to come back of. Oh,
yeah, I mean,
back from.
Yeah, here 2 times you clicked off the mute, and I was like, no way,
Yeah.
I'm clicking on the mute.
I saw that.
I saw that. Position, no way we're missing that. And I was like, oh my gosh, is he actually going to get 2 kills here on the Nomad and on the Hibana? So I was like, no way you're gonna miss that. So I just smashed
Fair enough.
And I mean, it paid off. I mean, super nice kills here from a missed drone who actually, like, Coconut Bra, who I look at his videos, actually mentioned. And he said, I can't...
Where is the mouse? Like, I'm not... Okay,
Yeah.
I found it. The mouse wasn't on the game, that's why it didn't work.
All right, yeah, I mean, he told... he pretty much gave some good tips. If you can just do maybe a flick of the wrist... when you're droning, just do a little flick of the wrist, just check around if there's maybe no attackers in the corners, and that's unfortunately what the attackers here didn't do. A little flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
So they missed here the trap or trip. Maybe it's a A or I.
It's an A. It's an A.
It's an A. Okay, so they missed trap, and unfortunately that gave away 2 kills just for a little flick, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's unfortunate, but it happens. It's some common mistakes, rookie mistakes. A lot of players here aren't rookies, but you know it happens.
Yeah, it's like you said, a flick of the wrist. It's not because it's actually difficult to execute. It's difficult to think about it every single time because most of the times, you know, you are going to be looking at your dead angle. Most of the times, you're going to notice that the player is there, and therefore you're going to know to pay attention when you peek that angle. It is quite notable because we didn't expect Trap to remain hidden in that instance. Also, let's notice that IL is going to be playing with the 417, so he's going to be playing with the marksman rifle, the DMR, not with the FAMAS for some reason, and therefore he's not going to be as good of an operator to actually push in the bomb site. However, he would be an extremely good player if he was to be holding long angles. If for example, you could be you manage to plant the diffuser in the doorway here, Twitch from outside or even through the hatch could have a very difficult angle to counter. It remains to be seen because we are going to be having a few roamers to clear out before we can move towards the objective. And once again, it looks like the drone didn't spot him. Therefore, you're going to have Stab getting a first kill on Wog Slayer. And he is likely to be receiving some pressure. JTARD running after him, but of course, he is just going to be disappearing into the night to make sure that they're not able to get a refrag off of that.
Here, it was basically a mouse and a Tom and Jerry situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, just going on and running for his life while JTARD here just going after him. So, I mean...
Oh no, JTARD standing on the opening here is going to reveal your position, and he unfortunately had the ACOG on, and therefore he had a narrow line of sight because of that magnification. That's going to be the end of him. So CJ, or rather IL, Mr. Code Bar over here, is once again going to be looking at the through the verticality. Is there a peak hole right here? No. Okay, so Fantix is looking the wrong way. He is opening himself up to a wall bang. Don't make too much noise. Advantage of surprise has been lost. They're going to have to rush in now. Fantix seems to be in mid-rotation. He could get a double kill. He gets murked instead. Unfortunate. You're also going to be having Ace Roulette right here looking at the feet, and unluckily for him, he's not going to hit anything. And now basically the master flank, or the bait they wanted to execute, is falling apart with 20 seconds remaining on the clock. What can you do? Answer is not much, Zofia. Oh, I didn't know the DMR was able to... Yeah, I didn't know that. But he has a beautiful flank. Gets a first kill. Will be refragged pretty quickly. Game Pro, he is just too far out. And he could have just jumped down here. He wouldn't have taken any vertic... Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Maybe saving his KD, just wanting not to, like, his teammates to know.
But I mean, you could have just jumped off the roof. You didn't need the rappel line. The roof isn't too high, and even if your chances are abysmally low to win the round, you still are better off attempting it, because then if you were to end up losing, well, it's not because you gave up. The moment you give up, your chances drop to exactly 0. Even if they're of 0.0001, you're better off attempting it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's never in a million years that somebody's gonna give up. Like that I would give up in a situation like this. I mean, it's still 1v3 with like what, 5 seconds remaining. But what if the perfect example, they line up and you just yeet a bullet through all of their brains and you win the round. You
100%.
It's that easy. So here the Alvine squad, the Kool-Aid Brigade, who's pretty much going to give that round to the Alvine squad, who's going to be put in a situation of match point here, advantage to the Alvine squad, obviously. But here they managed to break off the
stalemate.
Yeah, the 1-to-1 ratio. So here, I mean, good job, Alvine. You're in defense, so I mean, there's an advantage to that, but I mean, also we need strats. We need to make them work perfectly. So here, bravo, Alvine, who's managed to actually break up that 1-to-1 win-loss ratio in terms of rounds, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I wanted to point something out. So we've seen, I believe it was Fantix reinforcing that wall. he was the very first silhouette we were looking at. So if you were to not pay attention, you'd think the bomb site was on the statue's room, which it is not, like we're seeing right here. So for some reason, it looks like they intended to roam on the other side, but definitely Fantix isn't there. Like, setting himself up in the main stairs before or right as the attackers are spawning in, that is not, like, knowing where they're going to spawn or anticipating them. That was really just by design, I want to say. But then why did you reinforce the walls on the other side of the building? For the life of me, I could not tell you right now. And it just seems like this is, I want to say, resources poorly utilized, because they could have been used on bomb side itself. Unfortunately for the defenders, JTAR is going to get a first blood. Looking at maybe destroying the batteries, maybe finding... Oh, and Pulse right here is going to get an easy kill, or is going to be presenting an easy target. Unfortunately, nothing is going to connect, and his position, or, you know, what IQ was doing is now known by him. So he's going to have to be pretty cautious using his gadget going forward.
Actually, you know what? I was thinking about it, not listening to you, but the two walls that your Fentix put out, it's actually very, very smart. They block off the possible rotation cancellation that maybe the Kool-Aid Brigade could just open up the wall and just cancel the rotation to site for the Alvine squad. So I mean, from a look like that, from a point of view like that, these two walls were pretty much a lost cause here for the...
And a one tap! And a one tap.
A beautiful one tap, but these two walls who were for some people a waste of energy and waste of time are actually very beneficial here to the Alvine squad. So I mean, good job to Fentix, who here actually like met, I mean, the Alvine squad who took the time and find the ideas for this possible rotation cancellation peak thing.
So basically what you're saying is they did their homework, and you know the strategy they implemented is not, say, visible at first glance, but it is definitely there. And also JTAR joining here is going to see that there's a reinforced wall. Maybe he's going to be inclined to believe somebody's in the area, which is also going to be adding to the confusion that the attackers are going to be under. Leaving us with basically a 2v4 situation. Now a 2v2 situation. Will and Mr. Coldbar getting a double kill, and they have bomb site now. They could plant. IL is going to do so. He will have to be defended. Unfortunately for him, it is just not going to work out. A 1v1 situation is going to occur. He has to get the kill. 3 seconds remaining on the clock. Trap is just hankering here, and he's going to get, unsurprisingly, ultimately the kill, leaving us with Alvine squad ultimately winning it out. But goddamn, was it ever close, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, that was a very nice match here for the both teams. I mean, Alvine, who did a super good job at winning their rounds back, but unfortunately here for the Kool-Aid Brigade was, I mean, going off with a good start. Will, who pretty much did a super good 4K at the beginning, who put his presence, and I mean, it was very nice here for the Kool-Aid Brigade, but unfortunately losing it when the role swap occurred.
So yeah, it looks like having the defensive side was the ultimate tiebreaker, and that went to the blue team's advantage. So so GG's guys, and they're already counting in French in the in-game chat. Yes, exactly, next Sunday. Awesome. We'll be posting on Battlefy soon.
I love his be there.
Be there. So interview on Discord. Yes, alright, so we'll be joining, or we'll be hopping into a public channel. Let's take that overview. Let's jump into Discord.
Yeah, I will.
And you know what, we could switch to French. I don't see too many English anglophones in the chat, so.
We could switch. I mean, if the players would like.
Là, on va faire une interview, fait que le français ferait bien.
Right,
et puis,
parfait,
tu sais, dans le chat, on a eu très exactement un commentaire qui a fait Alvin Squad cœur. Fait que je pense pas qu'en parlant en français, on va, tu sais, exclure ben des anglophones qui aimeraient ça comprendre ce qui se passe. So, yeah. GG pour la victoire.
Yes.
Laisse-moi juste la taguer bien rapidement, la petite victoire.
Ici, les gars, vous avez fait un one-to-one ratio, genre en win-loss. Alors là-dessus, en win-loss de round dans le début de la game. Alors,
Mhm.
est-ce que vous avez plutôt été avantagé à cause du roll swap ou est-ce que vous avez été mis en défense ou est-ce que c'était vraiment juste, OK, les gars, let's go, on se réveille puis c'est là que c'est parti?
Ben pour être bien honnête avec toi, hier, notre deuxième match, on a été très, très déçus du résultat. On a eu beaucoup de lacunes en attaque.
OK.
Fait qu'on a pas mal étiré ça, puis finalement, on l'a perdu 8-7. Mais on a réussi quand même à grinder, mais pas assez pour aller chercher la victoire. Fait que il y a eu un speech entre-temps, puis on a mis pendule à l'heure, puis notre but, c'était vraiment d'aller chercher le maximum de rounds en attaque. On n'est pas allé chercher autant qu'on aurait espéré, mais assez pour qu'on vienne se sécuriser pour ce qui est la défense. Fait que une fois que c'était fait, rendu en défense, ben on a juste profité de notre coussin et on est allé chercher facilement les rounds en défense pour aller chercher la victoire.
Ouais,
Parfait, parce
là-dessus,
que...
bravo pour votre victoire aussi. Anne se
Ouais.
demandait en fait, on avait vu ici Fentix faire les deux murs de statues. En
À la
fait,
dernière ronde, tout au dernier round pour spécifier, là.
oui, à la dernière round, est-ce que c'était juste des murs que vous avez fait ou c'était vraiment pour empêcher en fait, le blocage de rotation par
Ben,
la Kool-Aid?
en fait, il y a une strat derrière de ça. La seule affaire, c'est que la première ronde qu'on a voulu faire, le joueur est allé faire son mur côté master, puis il n'a pas fait son mur sur le site. Fait que ça a donné un mur qui était souffle, qui était breach, puis ça a fait une grosse ouverture, puis on a perdu la ronde à cause de ça.
Mhm.
Oui.
Fait que j'ai préféré. En fait, j'ai dit au gars que je préférais qu'il fasse le mur sur le site, puis qu'à la limite, s'il n'y avait pas le temps de laisser ce mur-là soft, que c'était comme moins grave, vu que c'était comme juste une strat, on va dire, de roamer que le mur sur le site. Là. Parce
Ouais.
que la ronde d'avant, d'avant ou sur-avant, je ne sais plus c'est lesquels, là, j'étais pas mal à mauvaise posture avec mon bandit. Je n'étais pas capable de holder pleinement le site parce que justement, j'avais comme trois ouvertures différentes à couvrir. Finalement, je sautais que par le cali, par le trou. Mais ça a été un mistake là-dessus. On a voulu essayer de s'ajuster et d'être plus rapide. Finalement, on n'a pas été capable de faire ce mur-là, mais on a gagné la ronde pareil, ce qui est l'important. Fait que c'est ça.
Mais bravo à vous pour cette belle victoire. Puis Hans, je te laisse finir sans beauté.
Moi, j'en aurais peut-être une petite dernière question pour toi.
Ouais, vas-y.
Fait que, tu sais, par rapport à la première question de Madro, tu sais, la deuxième game avait été un peu plus difficile. Donc, tu l'as dit, vous avez pris un moment pour avoir la discussion. Fait que, dans le fond, d'avoir une journée entre les games, ça va vraiment vous avoir aidé parce que, tu sais, c'était comme un tactical timeout de 24 heures. Ça part pour le fait qu'il fallait peut-être se réchauffer avant que la game commence, là, tu sais, au niveau discussion, puis au niveau, tu sais, faire un petit reset au niveau mental. Ça, c'était 100%. Mais là, vous commencez, puis il y a Will qui fait la moins 4, puis vous perdez de manière relativement affreuse la première ronde. Est-ce que vous aviez quand même un peu peur pour vos capacités de remporter la game ou ça vous a pas ébranlé plus que nécessaire?
Pour être bien honnête avec toi, pas du tout, pour deux
Ok.
raisons. Première des choses, la première game, on l'a pris vraiment relax, puis on les a submergés. En fait, on a gagné la game, je pense, 7-3. Fait que,
Ouais.
c'est quand même assez radical. Il n'y avait pas eu de tant d'échanges que ça dans les rounds. Fait que, je savais qu'on avait la pleine capacité. La seule différence, c'est que la deuxième game, je ne sais pas si c'est un facteur que nous autres, on a pris ça au sérieux, on a voulu comme plus strater. Puis c'est là qu'il y a eu plus d'erreurs parce que les joueurs étaient un peu plus restreints dans leur direction de play. Donc, on avait comme une direction donnée puis qu'on voulait aller. Ou je ne sais pas si c'est ce facteur-là ou si c'est simplement le facteur que c'est leur map et peut-être qu'ils étaient plus solides là-dessus. Ça se
Mhm.
peut. Mais je sais qu'on avait des meilleures capacités selon moi en tant que joueur. C'est juste que notre gros bémol, c'est l'attaque. Fait que je pense que oui, le 24 heures nous a aidés. Mais je pense pas qu'on l'aurait perdu quand même. Je pense qu'on avait quand même les capacités facilement de la gagner. Mais ça a juste aidé. Ça, je peux te l'accorder, par exemple.
Parfait. Ben écoute, un gros merci à vous autres d'avoir participé. Un gros bravo pour la victoire. Comme vous savez probablement déjà, ben, à partir de la semaine prochaine, on change le format, ça va switcher le dimanche.
Oui.
Puis il va y avoir un cache-presse assez intéressant associé à ça. Fait que ça, c'est numéro un. Numéro 2, je vois que Maz, Stab puis Trap, tous les gars, votre X dans le pseudo, vous pouvez mettre un A si vous voulez, ça va rendre la chose plus facile à lire pour les casteurs. Bienvenue dans le Discord, salut à vous autres. Si jamais vous avez quelque chose à rajouter, je vois que vous êtes là depuis le début, que vous êtes en muet, puis c'est comme, c'est pas nécessairement une conversation 1 à 1, là, vous pouvez rajouter un petit mot si jamais des questions qu'on a posées. Pas que je veux venir, on va dire, saboter l'autorité d'Alvin, mais si vous avez quelque chose à rajouter par rapport aux questions qu'on a posées, ben, ce serait le bon moment parce que sinon, ben, ça va faire le tour de la conversation.
Ben, moi, personnellement, j'ai rien à dire de plus.
Parfait. Ben écoute, ben, je vais juste vous dire
Ouais,
un
moi
autre
non
jeu
plus.
GG. Super.
Ah, ben, merci.
Fait que bravo. Puis
Toujours le fun
ben,
de faire tes
j'espère.
tournois.
Super. C'est super à entendre. Parce que j'ai déjà eu des petits fuck-ups, puis j'ai déjà eu des moments où
Ah
ça
ouais.
allait un petit peu moins bien. Puis là, ben, évidemment, le support public, il descend un peu. Madro, tu vas te rappeler de la finale des playoffs de la saison passée.
Oui.
Oh fuck yes. Et donc, tu sais, j'ai voulu trop en faire, puis ça m'a éclaté dans la face. Bref, fait que je suis content que ça vous ait plu, puis j'espère vous voir la semaine prochaine.
On va se voir
Yes.
dimanche.
On va se revoir.
Super,
T'inquiète
super,
pas.
super. Fait que, ben, encore une fois, un gros merci à tout le monde d'avoir été là. Donc, en ce qui concerne le stream, on va avoir un autre game qui va commencer à 8h30, donc dans une demi-heure tout juste.